right thing. For once.
No, pretty much all the time. Alright, so welcome to the channel, Inspiring Tampa Bay.
We just left a little restaurant on Central Avenue in
St. Pete.
Called Caribbean Cafe. And
Caribbean or Caribbean?
it's Caribbean.
Yeah.
Caribbean Cafe. Great little spot. Just had an amazing lunch. Cuban sandwich there. Next level. Highly recommend. One 12-inch sandwich was enough to feed both of us.
Yeah.
So we'll do a little short or something about that place. Give you a little more information. Great restaurant. So we thought we would talk about who we are, how we got here, how we got in this mess, the mess of real estate, give you a little bit of back history, just kind of leading into our day-to-day. We're going to do a little bit of car talk on this channel, probably actually a lot of car talk.
Yeah, probably.
We spend a lot.
Yeah, we spend majority of the time in the car. Most of the time, just got our laptop out, sitting there typing away on stuff, and working while I'm trying to navigate all these chaotic drivers down here.
Yep.
And try and not be one of those chaotic drivers.
Right. Well, just between showings and inspections and open houses and then all the beautiful weather that we have down here. So it is a gorgeous, bright and sunny day here in sunny St. Petersburg, and we are really just excited to be here with you. So little background on me. I am third generation, born and raised right here in St. Pete. I know, like I'm a rarity. I get that all the time, but this is home and this will always be home. Now, mind you, we love traveling. You'll probably see a lot of that on this channel as well as we take you with us on all of our adventures, but it's really just a beautiful thing to be here. We're traveling down Central Avenue, which is the center of all things fun in St. Pete. Okay, I don't want to say all things. There's so many great things.
But being raised here, we've seen this Central Avenue just change so much for the better, over the years, and it's a fantastic place to come and hang out, and just so much to do, so many different restaurants, and I mean
activities.
It doesn't matter what you want to eat, you can find it down here on Central Avenue.
Yes. Yes, and there's living down here on Central Avenue. So if you're looking for some place that's walkable, this is it. We'll add some videos in the future, walking around and showing you guys exactly all the things that are down here. But for today, we just kind of wanted to talk about where we're at, what we're doing, and how we got here. So I started the real estate adventure, call it my third career, in the fact that I was first a pediatric trauma nurse at All Children's Hospital for a decade, and as much as I loved that, I didn't love the bureaucracy and a few of the other things that were going on, and I really truly loved education always. I then started a private school, Ovation School for the Arts. You'll see that referenced often in a lot of the things that I'm doing. So Ovation School for the Arts was a nonprofit, pre-K through 12th grade, and some adult education here in the St. Pete, Pinellas Park area. We kind of ended up having locations in both areas. And during the pandemic, we shut down the school. The kids went virtual, was doing a lot of virtual learning, and I don't sit still very well. So for me, I need to be doing things. Now, fortunately, Matt, in his former career, he was able to work through the pandemic, and did, amazing things with getting COVID tests out to people and things like that. And so I looked around and said, well, who's working? And this was, you know, mid-year 2020. I'd done the whole COVID garden thing, and I had the kids all set up on their educational platforms and doing all the things we needed to do for meeting their educational needs. And so I saw that real estate agents were working. And I thought, well, I've never even considered real estate. So I called a friend and talked to her about it, and she said to me, Kara, I know you. I've seen what you've done. If you get into real estate, you're going to be great at it. And so I signed up that day. Again, it was COVID, but finished my course in 7 days. It took 2 weeks for them to process all my licensing and get me in for a test. I passed my test and was out here working these streets the next day. So, and it's been kind of...
I don't know if that came off exactly the way you wanted it to come off.
I think I was going for the pun, but it was, you know, it was amazing. And of course, we all know that everything was selling in 2020, 2021, 2022. So I jumped in at the height of it, and it was fun and engaging. I met some really amazing people, and I have been truly blessed in this regard. So fast forward to 2024, and Matt would go and do all of these networking events and all these fun, great things with me in the evenings after work and on the weekends, and he'd help me with open houses and drive me to listing appointments and buyers consultations and showing houses, and just really kind of was a really great support system for me when he wasn't at work. And then in early 2024, we had a life change. And
so you're on to telling my story
your
now.
story. I was, you know, waiting for you to kick in here, buddy.
Okay, so I'm not a third generation, you know, born here, but I've been raised here between Tampa and St. Pete, gone to school here, you know, my whole life. You know, and like she was alluding to, had a 30-year career in plastics, doing, you know, mold building for anywhere from Tabasco caps to Tervis cups to everything in between, and COVID tests and all that. And was fortunate enough to move into management, and did that for about 5 years of that 30 years, and happy to be out of it now.
A lot of dog smells here.
Yeah, it's back recording.
Okay. So we're down at the St. Pete Pier, which we mentioned in our first video briefly. That, I wish I could remember the numbers, but it was famous for being the $1 million pier in, I believe, the 1920s.
It was.
And it has changed several times over the years. Raw, unedited footage. Which
with the old pier, which was nice about it, is you could actually drive all the way out to the pier and actually like right up on the pier. Now they kind of dump you off into different parking lots, and then you go by Dock Fords.
Yeah, on that side, or
Dock
there's
Fords, yeah,
you know, parking over here on this side. You know, there's lots of places. So
I was almost thinking of Ford's garage, but
oh yeah, no, Dock Fords,
yeah.
Dock Fords. So little fun fact, we'll put a little snippet of the video in here.
Will we?
I hope so, because there's a bathroom right over here that so the builder of the church down here, I have to look it up and see what it is. That builder didn't receive payment on the building of the church. And so a way to get back at the church for not paying them, they built a bathroom in the exact same likeness of the church that they built.
I forgot about that story.
Yep. So so that is the bathroom, public bathrooms that are down here across from the Museum of Fine Arts in St. Petersburg. And little known fact, about that particular bathroom. So so many great artists that come into the MFA. But beautiful, beautiful living down here in downtown St. Pete. So many different things. We also have our famous banyan trees. That's another iconic St. Petersburg thing in our downtown waterfront North Straw Park. They, have been just a piece of history. All of us grew up climbing on those banyan trees, and they are still here. It is absolutely beautiful today. So, mortgages. What are the top 5 no-nos for mortgages?
Top 5?
Top 5 no-nos.
Well,
Want to go down by the Vinoy?
yeah, we can. Well, I mean, that's kind of funny. So, having high debt, it's not really a no-no, but it kind of can hurt with your buying power. Definitely a no-no is after you're under contract. If your debt is in question, don't go down and buy that new car that you're thinking about buying.
Or the boat, because you're moving to St. Pete.
Because you just bought a house on the water, so you want to have a boat. Don't do that. Basically opening lines of credit doesn't look good. When we look at everything, man, this is a bumpy road. I forgot how bumpy this is. But I love the brick roads.
Yeah. So we're passing the iconic and historic Vinoy Hotel. It is actually haunted, and we'll talk about that in another video. But we're heading down to Vinoy Park. We just passed Vinoy Basin.
It's back on.
All right. Technical issues.
Yeah, technical issues. We're working all these bugs out as we go along.
Yeah.
With recording in the car with the mics and all that. And right now, I mean, it is beautiful out, but the sun is shining, so it's getting the GoPro a little hot, so it's shutting off after a little bit. But yeah, on debts, I mean, 30%. I mean, probably go a little higher, but under 30 is good. 0 is better. And on that, if you have balances on those cards and your lender tells you need to pay some of that off to help your debt, don't pay it off and close the account.
Hi friends, welcome. We are sitting here waterside in the Flora Wiley Park, which is all the way at the end right before you go into Coffee Pot Bayou.
Which is funny because I just realized that this was not part of North Shore. I thought this was all North Shore part until just recently.
Yes, yeah.
Lived here my whole life and didn't realize this was different than North Shore.
Yes, so we are overlooking Tampa Bay and some of Tampa Bay's most sought after and expensive, Tampa Bay, St. Pete's most sought after and expensive real estate. We have some gorgeous properties over here in Snout Isle, Coffee Pot Bayou, and Old Northeast right behind us. Of course, the waterfront properties are incredible, but we've got some amazing historic homes right behind us as well. So,
and we had to switch from the car to here because we were having some issues with the GoPro sitting in the sun getting heated up. So we're going to address that for future.
okay. So, now what?
I don't know, people walking by kind of derailed.
I was going to say. Matt's out here people watching.
Well, they're walking right in front of us. It's hard to not people watch.
So when I was a kid, when we would have Christmas, there was a couple down here on Coffee Pot Bayou, and they had a porch that was overlooking this street right here, right behind us. And there would be a parade that would come down, and they would be out there on their porch dressed as Santa and Mrs. Claus. And so we would always kind of drive down this way, and they'd be out there, and it's just kind of a fond memory.
Yeah,
and
it was a big ordeal. It was, you know, everybody that lived here, all the locals knew about Mr. and Mrs. Claus there.
Yep. And coming from an area of St. Pete that wasn't ideal, it's always dramatic to go into those neighborhoods that you aspire to. And now I'm inside these homes, you know, $5, $10, $8 million homes, you know, $15, $20 million homes. And I am, you know, brokering those deals, you know, which is a whole other exciting venue, coming from someone who was almost on the wrong side of the tracks growing up. Not quite. So another little tidbit about St. Petersburg is we had a railroad system that, you know, went from Tampa Bay and came down around and up through the peninsula to deliver goods. I'm not sure all the details, but after they stopped using the rail system, they turned it into a trail, and it's now called the Pinellas Trail. And the Pinellas Trail follows that rail system that was set up. They took out all the railroad ties and the tracks, and
we'll have to look up what year they did that.
Right?
Because I mean, it was when we were kids.
Yeah, teenagers.
You know, they started that.
We were teenagers, but
that's still a kid.
Yeah, I guess it is now that we're old. But when I was a kid, we'd go over, you know, we were a block away from the railroad tracks, and we would go down and pull railroad ties out of the railroad tracks and sand them down and paint them, or, you know, play with them for whatever reason we thought was fun. That was what we did.
I think the statute of limitations are probably passed on that.
Yeah. You know, so, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah. I know when I was a kid, my brother and I, we used to put change on the railroad track, you know, because there was that whole, you know, urban myth that, you know, if you put a nickel or a penny or something on there, it would derail the train. Now, why you thought that as a kid that would be cool, but that never happened. No. Like it's a myth.
I didn't know that's why you did that. I thought it was to expand.
Well, and we learned that's what it did, was it's crushed them out. Well, and most of the time you couldn't find the penny or nickel or whatever it was. Right. You couldn't find it after it went flying. But you know, as kids, you believe these certain things and do these silly things. So that was something for my childhood.
Yep. Well, this is beautiful, sunny St. Petersburg.
And hopefully the wind's not too bad because we have the mics here. So, but it's still, I mean, it's windy out.
Yes, but gorgeous.
Yeah.
We're under a nice shade tree and overlooking the water. You couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, I mean, it's so clear. I mean, we can see Tampa from here. You know, it's just, it's a gorgeous day.
Yeah.
And again, another plane taking off.
Yeah.
Squirrel. So I think that's about it. I think we covered what we wanted to cover in this video. It is going to be kind of all over the place because we're going to have several videos from the car, and then we have this one here to where we're trying to recap. And
I don't think you need to explain it, but no? Yeah, I think they'll enjoy it, whatever they get. If you have something you want to know about St. Pete, you know, drop us a comment. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can know when our videos come out. Yeah. And they will only get better from here. Yeah. Let's say that. Right. It will only get better from here.
This is a whole learning experience for us. You know, it's something that I had been wanting to do for a while, and you know, she wanted to do it for a while. And we finally just said, you know what, we're doing it, and this is what you're getting. So yeah. Stay along for the process, hopefully.
Watch the changeover. Yeah. And until next time, this is Inspiring Tampa Bay. I'm Kara Keelan. This is Matt Keelan.
Pretty sure.
I don't know. Cut that part out. Yeah. Rewind. Back it up.
No, that's going to stay in there. That's a good one.
No. Yeah, we are the Keelans, and this is Inspiring Tampa Bay. Have an inspiring day.
Yeah. All right. I like that. All right.